Welcome back to United We Nerd Podcast.
Tuesday.
Joel,
Ryan.
have you ever had the feeling that you were in a safe space because a foreign entity was gone and everything was right with the world?
Oh, I know where you're going with it. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh.
And then slowly...
I shouldn't laugh. But
slowly in the night...
I don't want to say, like, I knew the entity was coming back, but I just want to say there was major success while the entity was gone. And I knew this guy couldn't unhook himself.
And just like it never happened, finds its way back in. Oh, man. Yo, so
okay.
I know we're kind of breaking format. By the way, hello, I'm Brian. And that's Joel.
Brian is very upset.
I am very upset.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's like,
so
come on, man. Like I was saying on Tesla, come on, man.
I would talk about this a lot. So before I get to that, I just want to let everybody know that's listening and watching. Welcome to United We Nerd Podcast, where a bunch of nerds just sit around and talk about really nerdy shit along with you. If you're with us live on twitch.tv/United We Nerd, where you can be in the Twitch chat. You can join in the conversation and ask questions during the podcast. And of course, if you can't watch it live, you can on youtube.com/@United We Nerd or on podcast services, wherever you like to listen to your podcast. So with that out of the way,
What's up, everybody?
Joel, I couldn't make this shit up. Holy fuck. So for those of you that don't follow wrestling, this past weekend was WrestleMania, the biggest WWE show of the year, the WWE Super Bowl, World Series, what have you. And it was great. It was fun. A lot of cool moments, a lot of weird moments. Marcelo couldn't be here today. He's still doing his fatherly duties, but he was texting me throughout the weekend. He was watching it at his homestead. So I'm sure we can get him to talk about when he gets back on the podcast. But had a good time. This is pretty much all I did this weekend was just watch WrestleMania. Had a fun time. The biggest match of the night was Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. This has been built up for the past 3 months. Really big build up. Thought Cody was going to win, but a little skirted a little by. Roman Reigns retained his undisputed championships. Mm-hmm. A lot of people on the internet got really mad about it, understandably, but hey, that's wrestling. But so for, I guess, to kind of fill you guys in, if you know anything about WWE, you probably know the name Vince McMahon. He was the owner, I should say. Been around for a long time. He had to leave the company summer of last year because of scandals that are pretty fucked up. A lot of workplace shenanigans, to put it lightly, even though it's not a light situation. And since then, everything has actually been going on the up and up because we got Triple H in charge. He's been running creative for the past 9 months or so. It's been really good. The shows have been getting better. The interest has been gaining back, and it's been, really good. And so this past weekend was his first shot at doing the creative for WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And there's some really good stuff. There are some things that didn't work out too well, but give or take, what have you. But on Sunday, there have been rumblings that WWE found a company to purchase them, because that's what That's what they've been trying to do. They've been trying to sell, trying to sell the company, increase its worth. And the company that they eventually got sold to was a company called Endeavor, which, if you don't know what that is the company that owns the UFC. So they were kind of really into like the sports, combat sports and entertainment and shit like that. So Monday comes around. WrestleMania is done. Everybody's waiting to see what happens next. And they made it official. Endeavor is now... So it's kind of weird, Joel, because they're technically not buying the WWE. They're integrating it.
Interesting.
So from what I read up, what the difference is that they're not buying it, but they are making an agreement that WWE is going to integrate with the UFC and create a new company that will hold the WWE and the UFC together. So they're creating a whole new entity that's going to kind of holster both companies together, right?
UFC, UFW, WWF.
I mean, they're going to be separate, but they're going to be in one governing body in a sense. That's all well and good. What got everybody on the internet freaking out is because basically the head of Endeavor, along with Vince McMahon, did an interview that morning, basically talking about the whole transaction and whatnot. And they asked Vince, is like, well, Vince, you really were in the weeds, for the longest time. Are you going to be doing anything with creative? And it's like, well, I'll be in charge of creative in a high, like, for lack of a better word, a higher capacity, on a higher level, but not in the weeds. That's the first warning. Ooh, okay. So Monday Night Raw comes around. All right. And it's the Raw after Mania. It's supposed to be the biggest Raw of the year. You got fans from all over the world that are staying throughout WrestleMania weekend. They'll go to Raw. It's supposed to be like the start of a new season. It's like the brand new year of wrestling. So there's going to be surprises. There's going to be, debuts. There's going to be returns. There's going to be new matchups and new stories that can begin, or stories that continue on from WrestleMania. We got fucking nothing. The only thing that we got was like Brock Lesnar attacking Cody Rhodes, thinking that he was supposed to be a tag team partner or something like that. It was really weird. The first hour was commercial free. There was like 3 minutes of worth of match. There was like one-ish match within an hour. Joel, I took you to a Monday Night Raw.
It was dope too.
It's fun. It's a 3-hour show.
It is.
There was 5 matches.
Ugh.
In a 3-hour show. The longest match was 12 minutes and 55 seconds.
What the hell?
The shortest match was under a minute.
What?
So, and here's the kicker. The women weren't even around until the last hour of the show. Not even like their champion. Not even the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, who successfully retained her title at WrestleMania, appeared on the show until the 3rd hour. You did not see one woman, like, you didn't see one woman wrestler. You saw a woman interviewer beforehand, but not until the third hour, which is kind of weird. That's not something we usually see on TV. And so people online are starting to, like, you know, speculate. And it's like, what's going on? Why does this, you know, show feel so like flat and like unexciting? And like, you could tell from the crowd is starting to get like, you know, there's moments where like the crowd gets excited, but like they're not to the excitement that you usually see on a Raw after Mania.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people are like pointing out, it's like, oh wait, this feels like they're starting to see the McMahonisms pointing out. That's a term, McMahonisms.
Oh no.
And
McMahonisms.
As you know, the show goes on, comes to find out that apparently Vince McMahon decided to take charge of creative that night.
And only pump out 5 matches? Come on, Vince. You hit your head or something?
Joel, let me tell you about Vince's style.
Right. I didn't know it was that bad. Jesus Christ.
Jameson in the
5
chat.
matches in 3 hours?
Jameson in the chat, thank you for the 100 bits.
Hell yeah, biddies.
Jameson said, I know this is probably wrong to say, but I can't help but imagine hearing Jim Ross say, by God almighty, he's back. Vince McMahon is back. Oh, you know.
Triple H, you're back.
So, especially in the past few years, Joel, when Vince was in charge of creative before he left, it was like a very common occurrence that at every show, creative would pitch ideas to Vince, and then he would decide to change a lot of things to the point where scripts were being torn up and redone T-minus 1 hour from show start. Like as audience members are entering the arena, scripts are being ripped and rewritten for that show that's going to be live that night.
What sort of eater haberdashery is this? Come on.
That was the norm. But then, of course, when he left and Triple H took over, things started getting more planned out further ahead. So there's be sometimes when things get changed, you know, that's wrestling, but for the most part, everything be thought out better. Like not the best, but better.
It probably flowed better. It probably seemed better. It probably just was better.
What happened? Last night, scripts were being ripped up 2 hours before the show, and things got changed a lot. And apparently, there's supposed to be a lot of cool stuff that happened last night, but it got changed because Vince wanted to change it. And boy, yeah, it's really kind of sad because we had like WrestleMania was this weekend, like everybody was having fun, having a good time. And then the stuff with Endeavor started to come out. You know, we didn't have a lot of information, and then more information started coming out, and the deal was official. And then Raw comes around, everything was starting to like feel weird. It's like, wait, this is not how it's supposed to be. And Vince is back. In less than a year, Vince is back, and I don't know why he's back, and who knows how long he's fucking going to be back for. 77-year-old fucking man trying to...
He knows he's going to die if he doesn't work. He's one of those probably. Like, he's literally done.
Vince is going to be the guy that like literally dies at Gorilla fucking with the headset on, and nobody's going to know. Oh my God. Here's the most egregious thing that happened last night. Now, I know I'm talking about this a lot, but I'm just getting this off my chest. James said, this is speculation, but do you think the women didn't show up until the last hour because the women were probably boycotting Vince's return? Apparently, this isn't official. A lot of people, a lot of the talent were very mad that he was there.
I had that thought, Jameson, actually, as soon as Brian told me. I was thinking that for a second.
Because the thing was, a lot of reports were like Vince created like a very like unstable like work environment. based off of like how he ran things, and a lot of people were unhappy. And when he left, like morale instantly improved. And so watching last night and like kind of like going back, like in thinking retrospectively, you could like see some people's faces and you can tell they were not happy. Mm-hmm. Like they weren't boycotting Jameson. Literally their segments weren't written until the last hour of the show. And apparently the rumor was, one of the original plans is that they were going to have like a triple threat tournament for the number one contender for the title, and they scrapped that. So they were going to have a bunch of matches that featured a lot of the women, and that got all scrapped. A lot of people were there that were going to show up on the show, and then the ideas got scrapped, so they weren't on the show. One of the most egregious things that kind of tipped me over the edge was the very, very popular wrestler Seth Rollins. You know, everybody loves him. Everybody loves to chant his music. Him coming out in his fucking very extravagant clothing, you know, strutting and doing his thing, right? He does that, and it goes to commercial. And it's like, all right, we're going to have a Seth Rollins segment. At least, you know, Seth Rollins is always good at what he does. You know, at least we'll have a little bit of fun. Come back to commercial, and he's walking up the ramp leaving. He walked out pre-commercial. Commercial come back. He's walking away. And so I was watching a live stream reaction from the Going Raw podcast. And everybody, we all just did a collective what the fuck? So what happened apparently is that during commercial, producer pulled Seth Rollins aside while he was in the ring, and there's actual fan footage. Fans at the event took footage and posted it on TikTok and shit. That the plan changed, and when he comes back to commercial, he leaves. So they literally canceled the segment during the show while he was already out there, and he didn't do anything.
What the hell? What is going on?
That's so fucking
McMahonisms.
McMahonism. That's all you can say. They're McMahonisms. You know, and it's,
hey Brian, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Do they pay them on like a salary, or is it by like the date? Like, do they get like a lump sum for every appearance they make? Because I'm not familiar with that. Is it like him being like, I'm not going to pay them if they don't show up, or what? What's the thought behind that?
So,
you know, do they get paid?
They get paid. They get, how much is a different story. From what I understand, they have a contract, and that contract, they get guaranteed a certain amount of money. And usually that pertains to, you get this certain amount of money and you're contractually obligated to do X amount of appearances, you know, whether it's on TV, pay-per-views, live events, you know, whatever. So everybody does get paid. Some people honestly should probably be getting paid more than they actually are, especially because they're contractors with deals that lock them down, which makes it kind of like the opposite of being a like contract worker. So it's a really strange mess, and you know, that's, I wouldn't be truthful if I said I wasn't kind of like in the mud a little bit today, like just drowning in all the information that's been coming out. And it's just disappointing, dude, because like, you know how big of a wrestling fan I am, and ever since like, you know, stuff started turning around, you know, I was like, really getting back into it, because for a while I wasn't like watching every week. You know, I listened to like podcasts and shit, or like watch like highlight clips of like the cool stuff that happens, because a lot of the stuff was like fucking whack and not interesting, because
Listen, y'all, I want to let you know we're probably going to talk about the D&D movie. Brian said like it's WrestleMania weekend, and we know. We respected that. It's like that's his thing, and he usually does. Lately, he'll say once like, "Oh, I got a wrestling thing," but he's like, "No, it's WrestleMania." I'm like, all right, bro, it's your time.
It was hype. It was something to look forward to, and it's like after coming off of this weekend and being so deflated after last night, it was just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I understand, like, you want to sell your company and shit like that, but it's like, dude, like, look at the ratings. The ratings obviously went up when you left. I don't care what kind of deal you made with Endeavor. Don't fucking walk to Gorilla and just be like, I'm gonna run the show, damn it. I sold this company and I'm gonna do what I want.
So I want to say what's egregious is that mustache. If you haven't seen
Vince
McMahon's mustache, do you have it ready to go, Brian?
I will look it up right now.
So there's an M. Bison one. I think Marcelo shared it with us. But here, really quick, for those on Twitch, someone did like a Photoshop of him as M. Bison. He looks like, what the fuck is this look? Anyways, like more McMahonisms, but
I'm trying to find like a more recent one.
And then you told me earlier, he's like, he looks like Gomez Adams. And I was like, don't do that to Gomez Adams.
He fucking does, dude. Okay, I found a news article here.
Oh man,
here we go.
What a time.
Look at this shit, dude. Like, look at this man. That is obviously a dye job, but like he has this weird ass mustache. Makes zero sense. For those of you that are listening, right now to the podcast, just imagine a 77-year-old Vince McMahon who literal months ago looked like fucking this. Gray hair, like clean face. And as of like yesterday, obviously he dyed his hair and he's grown a mustache, and it's like a Gomez Adams mustache, but like bad. It's like I don't get what's going on here.
It looks like if you were looking for someone to trust in prohibition, like everyone would know not to tell him. He's gonna rat you out.
He'd be the snitch.
Take your stuff.
He'd be the snitch.
Like a 30-20 snitch.
James said, "Why does this face look Photoshop?" It's so strange. I don't know if he wanted to like look young for like the sale of WWE or something like that, but it's like that's just a strange move. He's trying to look younger than he is.
Way
oh my god!
Whatever. Hey, we should do that when we're 77, right? Do the Vince McMahon.
Get that just for men, and then fucking try to sell a wrestling company.
I remember Vince McMahon. Oh wait, he's still alive.
Oh,
he's in the machine. They have him on fucking super life support with that wrestling money.
Bruh, I bet you if that was an option, he would choose it for real.
I'm never gonna let go. Ever. You're afraid.
I'm never gonna die. Yeah, but I'm sorry. I know, that was probably a long-winded rant, but I've been holding on to that all day. I just need to get it out.
Good. I'm
get
glad
out my frustrations.
You were really manifesting. It's like, oh, Brian's not feeling
good. Bruh, Joel, I was posting shit this morning on Twitter. It was fucking wild.
Yeah.
I was like waiting for more news to come out, and it kind of in a bad way. So I had to step away from the internet for a little bit, but I said my piece. It's all done. Am I gonna still watch SmackDown this week? Probably. I'll see what happens. see what happens next week. You know, hopefully, you know, he couldn't find his way out of LA, which is understandable. LA is fucking shitty traffic. You know. But yeah. So that was a thing this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But enough of that. Let's talk about other things that happened this week. Joel,
Sorry, I'm doing the Vince McMahon walk. He's coming down. It's stuck in my head.
Oh no!
Sorry, what I said for those who couldn't hear, doing the Vince McMahon walk. He has a very stylized walk when he comes down the ramp. In case you didn't know.
So just imagine a gorilla wearing a three-piece suit with shit in his pants. That's what it looks like.
A diaper that hasn't been changed in about 20 years. What were you gonna say before I went the walk?
What's been up with you, Joel?
Let's see. Well, I did see the D&D movie this week.
How was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was. It's basically, for anyone who's played it, it was basically like you're watching an encounter, honestly, or like the story for the day. It was super fun. Definitely had some laugh out loud moments. I don't want to spoil it too much in case we see it. Yeah, even our buddy Adam, we came out of the woods to see it with us, and we had some good laughs talking about it. And yeah, Chris Pine, good. I think everyone did really well. Ensemble, you know, it was just well done. There's a celebrity cameo I didn't expect. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay.
Surprises. Okay.
And yeah, it was fun. And there's some of the gear they use, like, because when you play Dungeons and Dragons, you sometimes get cool gear or weapons or abilities, and they were creative with some of the items, I think. So it was just really cool to see. And of course, they did, like, you know, there's a bard, there's a paladin, there's like this tiefling, you know, transforming character. You know, there's a bit of a thief element, but yeah,
so
it was fun. So
did
you generally like Dungeons and Dragons? It's fun. I think it's a good watch.
Did they do all of the D&D isms?
Yeah, I would say it felt like you could tell when they rolled 20s, and you could tell when there were some ones. Not as many ones as 20s. They're definitely doing good. There was one moment I was cracking up. Let's just say there's a malfunction. That's all I could say.
Oh, okay.
It's very clear if you've seen it what I mean by the malfunction. I was laughing my ass off. They went there. I was just like, what the fuck am I it's a fun watch. So again, if you like adventure or high fantasy or even like that, you can enjoy the movie. They could have even made it like Honor Among Thieves. They didn't even have to put Dungeons and Dragons. It was pretty. I think they just, Hasbro had to like slap it on there,
Get that marketing going.
Oh yeah, but it honestly just felt like a fun adventure movie. And
okay.
I wouldn't say it's amazing. I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's definitely if I compare it to Morbius, yeah, it's fucking the best thing on the planet, but that's Morbius, right? So if you're interested, check it out. It's fun.
So I just wanted to like ask you this question, because at least for me, like watching the trailers, I couldn't get a gist of like what besides like them being just a group of, adventurers, like any kind of D&D party, like I couldn't tell like what the actual like call to action was. I didn't know like what the story. Did they make it kind of clear like from the get-go like what they wanted?
Yeah, you could tell it's clear, and they even like spice it up a little, I'd say. Since you're saying that, the choreography was actually really good. They made sure the action was like, I wouldn't say clean, but it was like, wow, fun, believable, and just like it really felt like, the way I said it to one of our friends was like, it feels like this is what you want your character to do, and they brought it to life, like with the creativity at least. So
okay. Cool. All right. I'll have to take a look at that. That and John Wick 4. I need to kind of catch up on some movies.
Oh yeah, we should go see it sometime. I don't know when, but yeah, you too, Jameson. Me, Brian, Jameson, Adam, whoever else wants to join, we gotta see John Wick 4. It was the ride.
I want to see that in theaters before it goes away.
Yeah,
like I feel like I have to.
You got it, especially for Donnie Yen. Oh man,
Donnie
so
Yen,
good.
Lance Riddick.
Yeah. Yep. So good, so good.
Ah,
Oh, man.
cool.
What else? I'm trying to think what else happened. Gonna appear to me later. I mean, for those who watch, I mean, Succession came out 2 weeks ago. I'm caught up. It's like this very heavy drama about talking, and these like essentially this person who like owns like would say like it's like a nod to like the owner of like whoever owns Disney and how they run business in a way.
Oh,
So it's like if you had so much money in the world and like how they act and their family acts and how they try to do stuff with money and now news and where the money goes, it's what a drama.
like
So it's
do
devastating.
they have just like a like Disney equivalent to the show, or are they actually like digging at Disney a little bit?
A little bit here and there. They even had like a theme park episode, like in the one of the first
Oh
episodes,
wow.
and like there's like the cousin of one of the people is there. He's like, I'll hook you up with a job, and he like throws up in the character suit. That shit made me hella laugh.
Ugh.
But it's very very serious dark drama, you know. So yeah, good stuff. It's good stuff. What else happened? Oh, we got the finale of Bad Batch. We didn't
Oh
talk about.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure we want to talk about it with Marcelo, but wow, that hurt. I'm not gonna say anymore. It hurt. It was good though.
It
Some nods to other properties in Star Wars. So
yeah.
we can say, right?
No, I was gonna say like the animated stuff recently has just been knocking it out of the park. You know, because like. I mean, of course, everybody knew that Clone Wars was going to do great, but like for being like the next like Dave Filoni like animated series, like they've been killing it so far,
Mm-hmm.
and it just keep. I feel like they're starting to find a sweet spot, at least for like their shows, where you have the Mandalorian that's still running right now, and then Bad Batch just ended, but like they're finding like little niches within the universe that haven't been explored too much, and they're being able to expand on it in interesting ways. Now,
Oh, yeah.
of course, not everything is going to be to people's liking. There's going to be hit and misses, every now and again. But for the most part, I feel like they've been kind of doing really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like enjoying season 2, but I was like all in. Basically, there's this episode with a mech, and I was like, "What?
Oh yeah,
What?
the
We went
mech.
there?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, it would totally doesn't even like it just comes. Like, it's like, okay, we're doing this. We're going on a little adventure. We'll probably get some meteor stuff later, and then just like, what? We just fucking go all of a sudden. And I'm just like, That's it. I'm sold on the rest of the season. I don't care. That just satisfied me because
Hell yeah.
I was just super surprised. Some of the choices they've made are great and a little risky, but I mean, for me, good. Like I've been like jiving with it, and it just they're really building up one of the characters. Like they painted him one way, and now he's another. Or soon we'll see, right? But it's like wow, this is some great stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah.
It's really cool because I don't know if you've noticed this, but they're really, because when they announced all of the Disney Plus like Star Wars shows, they hinted at like sooner or later everything is going to start converging onto like one big epic like conclusion, or at least like a focal point. And I don't know about you, but I'm starting to kind of see like the pieces starting to fall into place a little bit, especially with like the Bad Batch. Now I don't know if like they assumed Bad Batch would be like a part of it. I don't think they would, but like I can see like there'd be little things that are being hinted on in Bad Batch, and then later we'd watch Mandalorian, and like they still pick up not necessarily on the same thing, but like the same topic. And it's like, huh, okay,
Yeah.
starting to see similarities.
We're getting those connections to the sequels. I love it. Like this is only going to make the sequels stronger, just like Clone Wars did for the prequels, honestly. So it's going to be good stuff. And if I don't know if we'll ever get it, but if if Mando lives to the point of we see him flying to Exegol, I'm done. That's it. It was a masterpiece. You can't. That's it. Like he's there.
You gotta find that N1 flying around.
Right. I'm just gonna look for that little gray N1 somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. Mando's been hype, and that last episode was really good too. That
It
was
was.
It was a nice cameo, and people were complaining about filler like that. I joked with you and Marcelo. I was like, that was not a filler episode. You cannot. That was
No.
like, woo. That was laying so much groundwork. Like I can't even.
The Mandalorian's too short to have filler. Like that's. I feel like we've talked about this before, but
Did last week, yeah.
I feel like people's definition of filler nowadays has changed a lot. Because like people consider filler to be anything that doesn't have the main character in the show. It's like, no, like there's still things that are moving the plot forward, and there's things that are being expanded upon. It's like there's still stuff here. It doesn't mean it's filler. You're just seeing other people within the story, you know, fleshing out. It's like you got to have that other exposition, or else it's just like, yeah, it'll be cool to see Mando and Grogu fucking do stuff all the time, but it's like if they just start seeing like all the big bads, and like there's no, you know, crux to like why these situations are happening, you know, it's going to be a boring ass show after a while.
Speaking of big bads, I'm a hard pivot here. Trailer for the Blue Beetle dropped. That's what I've been hyped for. Have you seen the trailer, Brian?
I haven't. No.
Oh, well, it's hype. I gotta say, I know Marcelo and I we were nerding over it. It's dope, and it just sucks. Like DC, like it's like I thought I was done with you. You drop Blue Beetle, and I'm in. Like fuck you guys, man. Oh, man, it looks clean. It looks good. It looks like they took care of it, you know. And you know their actors are keeping quiet too. You know, you know. There's only been one person excited about Shazam. It was like a kid I worked with. He's like, I saw Shazam, and that was it. You know, I haven't seen anyone else like that excited about it. So it just
it's the unfortunate bungle of what is the DC EU, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted to try to catch up with, you know, Marvel. It was very obvious. You know, when Batman v Superman came out, it was very obvious that they were trying to like push this way beyond what it should have done in the first place. And then, of course, you know, the whole Zack Snyder thing. Now it's kind of a bungled up mess. And then now, of course, James Gunn is heading, you know, the DC studio. And so now they're just wiping the whole slate clean, you know, as soon as, you know, the Flash comes out. And Aquaman, is that still happening? Aquaman 2?
Aquaman 2, and with reshoots too. I don't know if we said it last time. People walked out.
Wait, third reshoots?
No, just from the last time.
Okay,
I don't know if there's
that'd be wild. That'd be like, just throw it away. It's too late.
You mean pull it back, girl? Anyway, I'm just wondering if Blue Beetle, where its place is, like, are they going to connect it to the next thing, or is it its own separate thing? Either way, looks good, looks fun. I hope they treat it like the Batman, you know? It's let it be cool and something and connect it if they need to, you know?
Yeah.
It looks fun. There was one scene in the trailer where it looks like it does some like Power Rangers shit. I was like, oh, I'm all in.
Did they have a Super Sentai moment?
It did. It fucking did, man.
Hell yeah.
You gotta see it now at a Sentai moment.
I'll watch it after we're done here. That sounds sick as fuck.
Yeah. I need to watch that with my wife, and then I need to watch this new Spider-Verse trailer. I haven't seen that yet either. So,
bro, they've been just popping out trailers the past few days.
No, so gotta watch it. Oh, and Secret Invasion. Do you see the trailer for that?
I did see Secret Invasion trailer. That looks interesting. It's actually funny. So I was watching it with my partner, right? And I don't know if it's just because of how Marvel's been marketing their shit recently, but like they thought it was a movie. It's like, no, this is a Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
But it looks good. It looks like
a very good spy thriller, honestly.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. This is just from the trailer, and, you know, we still have a few months to go until we see it, actually.
Yeah.
But, like, it looks like it's going to be a quality show, and we're going to see scrolls and shit, and it's going to be cool.
I want to see so many backstabbings and betrayals. I want to see that.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah. And Emilia Clarke's in it. Welcome back.
Yeah, that's cool. it's always awesome to you know,
Acquiring more Game of Thrones actors.
well, that and like, you know, just being in the season of like summer movies. Like we're starting to get all of like the summer movie like trailers, and I know Secret Invasion is not a movie, but it's like we're getting hyped up for like the prime movie season and just like content season.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a new Guardians trailer soon. They got to hype that up even more.
Dude, we're like a month away.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a final trailer pretty soon, if there isn't already. But yeah, I'm excited. Seeing that trailer in the big screen. Jameson, if you want to mute, go ahead. I don't know if you're going to just mute really quick, but I'm just going to talk about a big spoiler in the trailer. Fucking seeing Adam Warlock was dope. And that was sick. I was like, we've been waiting for that guy. A gold motherfucker. So I'm hyped.
Been waiting for fucking how long? Since 2018, 2017?
Since the second Guardians, yeah. But as I hopefully James Gunn has enough time to craft him right, write him good, and we'll see him more later. You know, he's supposed to be like ridiculously strong. And I love when we have these ideas of what a character should be, and then they rein him in a certain way, but they still retain it. Oh man, I'm just so great. I want to see, especially with Guardians. You know, this film that people didn't think was going to make it has been like a global success. So wild.
So Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was in 2017.
Fuck.
Been waiting that long for the third movie.
Damn.
Yeah, didn't Adam Warlock like fight Thanos on his own?
A couple times, yeah.
So
Fought Thor on his own. He's been around.
I don't know. I know a lot of people are burnt out by Marvel, but I'm just excited that we're getting to the weird shit. Like we're just getting into all like the goofy ass like Marvel properties, and I'm just here for the ride, dude. I don't go to the movies that much, like especially like nowadays. So I just want to go and enjoy it. Man. Anything else?
Was it just WrestleMania for you all weekend? Was it just WrestleMania?
Kinda. You know, like this whole week has been like preparation for WrestleMania, so I can't put my finger on anything else like of worth that I did. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much tapped as far as like what I did throughout the week. There are some cool things that I wanted to bring up.
Bet I know one of them. I bet.
So this actually just got announced today, but Xbox for Earth Day that's coming up in the next week or two has announced a new special edition Xbox controller that is about 1/3 recycled material.
Cool.
And it's actually pretty sick. So like you can see here, for people that are watching, it's a Xbox Series controller, and it has a lot of different earth tones and whatnot. But what the cool thing that they said is that all the plastic on here was made from recycled like CDs, other like containers and like old Xbox One controllers that they've collected and recycled. And so like you have all these different like earthy colors. You got these greens and kind of brown colors, and it comes with a rechargeable pack. But what's interesting is that the triggers and the backside has like this wood grain to it.
I see that. That's pretty cool.
Right? It looks pretty sick, and like the home button has like the green X on it, so you get like a good old like classic like Xbox logo look on the controller, which is nice. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Like, you know, Xbox has been trying to like figure out ways to like make their stuff like more like consumer, you know, green friendly. And so, of course, I fucking pre-ordered one. I thought it was sick. But yeah, it was like a neat little announcement from Xbox. Now, of course, you know, there's people always like poking fun. It's like, well, why is it? It's like, why don't they just have a built-in battery? It's like, hey, at least it comes with a rechargeable battery pack. You know. And I was
started with a controller back in the day. Didn't have one. Let me tell you, it sucked.
Hey, we all can't be DualSense controllers here. You know, we need to live our own lives. But yeah, I thought that was pretty neat, and it's a cool design. You know, just the fact that it's like, you know, the thought of like it's made out of old Xbox controllers just has this like kind of like rad feeling to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a little cool Xbox thing. Another big thing that got announced. You're familiar with the PC brand Asus?
Yes, I am.
So they officially announced that they are getting into the handheld game.
Oh shit!
With the Asus ROG Ally. It's this brand new, like state of the art. Well, not state of the art, but it's going to be like the Steam Deck competitor. Let's see.
Interesting. It kind of looks like a PSP.
I mean, kind of. It has like the qualities of you know, what the Steam Deck kind of does. It's a little bit, from the specs I was reading, it's a little bit more form-fitting. It's a little bit smaller. The screen is the same size. Apparently it can go 1080p. Not so much on like the battery life and like how much it costs, but it, from what it's been reported, it can do, you know, Steam games. It can do you know, Xbox Game Pass. Because instead, unlike the Steam Deck runs on Steam OS, but this one just runs on Windows 11. So it's pretty much a little handheld PC for gaming.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Which is that gonna be?
No idea.
Literally a powerful PC in the palm of your hands. That shit's gonna be expensive.
Like I assume it's gonna be like the same as like the Steam Deck. So it's like gonna be like roughly like low end. It's gonna be like in the 300s minimum, like maybe like 350, 360. And then of course they'll probably have like another spec that has more storage and whatnot, which will run you higher. But yeah, Asus is getting into the handheld game. There's been a few other companies that have kind of done the handheld game, or try to, but like I feel like Steam is like the first one that actually like got it done right with the Steam Deck. I haven't like held one myself, but I have seen people like use it like in public. Like last year at PAX West, there's some people waiting in line, you know, with their Steam Decks out playing fucking Steam games. So if Asus can, you know, build it right, make sure it lasts, you know, it works properly, I feel like that could probably be a really, you know, game buster. Because like who wouldn't want to have like a lot of, you know, their PC games and have like competitors to come out
on the go.
Because I think what might be the advantage for Asus at this point, if it works well and it runs well and it plays the games pretty good, the fact that you could just go into a Best Buy or you can go into a store that sells computers and just buy it, is gonna be the deal breaker, because like for Steam, it's like you have to order from, you know, like from Valve themselves. You have to wait for them to ship you one, and who knows how long it's gonna be. Like I assume it's faster now, but it's still like there's only one place you can get a Steam Deck from. With this, like you could probably go to any department store and like buy it, you know, as long as like it's a place that sells Asus products, you know, you can just go in there and get one. So I feel like that might give them the upper hand as long as the build quality is good and it plays well. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, a little competition never hurt anybody. But yeah. Oh, there was this one. I don't know if you've heard of this game called King of the Castle.
No, I haven't.
So it's this like multiplayer game, right? Let me pull up, and basically it's like a multiplayer, like kind of not so much of like a it's like a Twitch game, I would guess, because from what I've seen about it, it's like very advertised that it's like a game meant for like Twitch. Let me see.
Like you can make choices and stuff.
So basically like the idea of it is that like the Twitch, like the Twitch streamer would be like the monarch, right?
Yeah.
And then the Twitch chat could be divided up into like 3 different factions. And then from there, like there will be a whole bunch of like missions that each factions will be given. And then of course they want to figure out a way to kind of like work to reach their goal. But then of course, like, you know, the Twitch streamer is the monarch. And so like they're making laws and shit. And it looks really neat because then like the Twitch chat gets to vote on certain things. And of course, depending on like what each team has their goal, it's like laws that get passed, you know, will affect certain teams more than the other. And so it's like, it's kind of like, in a way, you're kind of like pitting your Twitch chat against you and each other.
Sounds like Sheriff of Nottingham a little.
A little bit. That's what I was like thinking of, except on like a grander scale. But yeah, I just like saw it and it was like, oh, this is weird, because we've had games that had, you know, Twitch capabilities before, right? Mm-hmm. But this is like the first game I've seen that actually like had Twitch in mind.
Yeah.
Like you could definitely play this game like on its own, like alone, and it still works. But like this seems like it's like the first actual like Twitch like stream game. And it looks pretty sick. And I looked it up, it's only like $6. It's really cheap, right?
It's really, yeah.
But yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of sick. You know, because there's a lot of games that have different capabilities. Like, you know, like Cult of the Lamb had like Twitch capabilities where it's like your Twitch chat gets to be like your followers when you get one. You can name them and stuff like that. Or what was that old Ubisoft battle royale game? Hyperscape. Hyperscape had, which is really fortunate that Hyperscape didn't last that long, because they had a really cool integration where it was like your Twitch chat could pick the modifiers that are going to cycle in and out every round, or every like round during like a game.
Interesting.
And so like the Twitch chat was actually like influencing the situation that you're coming into for each round of like the wall shrinking in a match. It's like, oh, that's cool. So
Oh shit! I forgot about Hyperscape. I just looked it up. Sorry.
that's okay. Ubisoft did too.
Wow.
Ubisoft did too.
Remember, the premise was really cool. God damn.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like you got like your modifiers, and of course it was like the battle royale game, and then all the different weapons that you're able to upgrade throughout the match and shit.
Yeah.
It was really sad, you know. A lot of interesting concepts for battle royale games like came and went like the past few years.
Yeah.
But yeah, King of the Castle looks really fucking cool. Hopefully, maybe one day we could try it out. That'd be really fun.
Well, hell yeah.
Try it out with.
I think that'd be fun to do on stream.
Try it out with the Twitch chat. You know, see how long how long we can last to get pitted against each other. Speaking of things forgotten.
Oh no.
We talked about this last week. But unfortunately we missed the announcement just a few days prior. But yeah, pour one out for E3 because that shit is canceled. It is no longer happening this year because everybody pulled out. We talked about it on the podcast last time, but it's like Sony pulled out, Ubisoft pulled out, Xbox said they weren't going to be there, Nintendo wasn't going to be there, Sega and Tencent were going to be there. You know, all the big companies were backing out, and so last Friday, you know, Repop said, all right, E3 is canceled, guys. It's not happening. So yeah, this it looks really bad, dude. Like,
some things were meant to last, I guess.
I mean, we mentioned it before, but like E3 has been around for so long, and the industry has changed. Or shit, just the way we get information has changed since E3's inception. And so it's just like, what happens to the old standard when, you know, it starts becoming obsolete and it doesn't evolve with the times, you know? Like, honestly, it was surprising that E3 didn't die out like back in 2019, you know, when it wasn't even necessary back then. Yeah. Like, it's kind of sad because it's something a lot of us grew up with. Like, anybody that's played video games, like, looked forward to E3 every year, and like you got to see the press conferences that happened adjacent from E3, and then of course all the news coverage that was going on throughout the weekend and throughout the week. And you know, of course, you know, it's not like as big a surprise because you saw E3 slowly dying, and it's like they had to do something with it, and it wasn't happening, and it wasn't happening, and it wasn't happening. And, you know, like shit, even back then, Sony backed out well in advance, like before pandemic and shit like that happened. And now we're at the point where, you know, all the companies do their own press conferences. They do live stream events. You know, Jeff Keighley has Summer Game Fest, which has been doing really well, and it's still happening this year. I don't know, man. Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think? You know, seeing an old institution go away.
Like you said, like games have just been announced, or studios have been just announcing it. I'm just like, okay, you know, like I don't know. I feel like ever since I went to PAX, like. I don't know.
Yeah, that's also a good point. It's like we have PAX now, which is like just like a consumer E3 that happens year round in different locations.
When's the last time we were like excited for E3? When we were like under our old name, like for an old like watch along, and we did it like once. I'm really trying to remember. Once like 2017, like.
like probably the last time that E3 was done live, and you know, because like they did do that one like digital event like 2 years ago, and I think it got canceled last year, so this is the second time, and there's no confirmation whether they want to try to do it again next year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just decide to have it fade away. Yeah, it's
maybe it's time to let go.
Like it's unfortunate. It's fortunate that the company that was running it before Repop bought it, was a fucking shit company that wasn't doing what was right for the business.
Maybe it should die.
Maybe it should. I don't know. It's just strange, to see something that's been around for so long, not survive and be in the state that it's in. But then also at the same time, it's like we don't need it.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those weird mixed feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. May E3 rest in peace. While it takes its rest, we will enjoy Summer Game Fest and all the other fucking press conferences that will happen throughout the year. Because like we don't companies don't have to wait. Like that's the thing now. Like the past 2 years, companies have been just doing stuff in their own time. So it's like I feel like we've just been getting like gaming news year round instead of just in the summertime.
Yep.
So it's like that's like the one good thing about the situation where we're getting to have more cool events throughout the year instead of like just waiting for one big summer chunk and then that's it.
Yep.
I don't know. That's just something I wanted to bring up because we couldn't talk about it last time. I just wanted to,
Yeah, we were literally like predicting, and I like how you're like, I gotta put a recording in front of this. So E3 just got canceled. It's like I saw. What the fuck? Could have waited.
We didn't miss this information. It just happened before we could fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
Or happened after we talked about E3.
Right.
Don't blame us. Don't blame us.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Was there any other news that came by your way?
Survivor's on the way, man. That's on my mind. Jedi Survivor, dude.
Yeah.
Hype.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Good. And
so they just
has beard.
Bruh, dude. So I guess EA had their little like presser event where they got a bunch of like people from the industry to go play the game, which I'm super fucking jealous of because that looks fun as fuck. And so we've been getting news about it. Yeah, it's kind of weird that we're going from a game that had barely any customization to now it's like you want to change fucking Cal's fucking hair and give him some fucking facial hair? Go right ahead.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. Tell me, like, what do you think about the stuff that's been coming out?
I just think it was cool to see those battle droids, bounty hunters, and that he's stronger. Like we don't start off like he's just gonna get stronger and stronger, as it should be, right? Like he's a Jedi Knight now, and I just hope that every game does like we got to reset him a little, like it's progressively, or it's not like how do I put it? Like you're not training wheels for like 20% of it as usual. I hope it's like 2 or 5% and boom. And if anything, tougher enemies using new abilities, sure, but like the whole, I played, a lot of Star Wars games. They always have that problem. They got to bring you back down. Like I get it, but it's just like, come on, let's get through the tutorial. Let's go. I have to relearn these basic powers again. Like, come on, let's go kick some ass. So I'm glad that they said that. Like, you're a knight. You got powers already. You're going to get stronger. So that's what's got me most stoked. First of all.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I saw that video of the the cow was hanging off of like a ledge, and a battle droid like came over to the ledge and started like having dialogue and shit. And it's like all the classic like battle droid stuff, like just like talking to itself and stuff like that. And then Cal comes up and fucking knocks him out, and he actually has a like Cal does like a response to what the droid was saying. It's like, oh, that's fucking sick. So hopefully we get some cool, more like character interactions with like the enemy units and other things like that, like just like in mid combat.
What's his friend's name? The Night Sister. She looked like she got some drip going on. I was like, oh, cool, yeah.
Marin's fucking sick. Yeah,
yeah, man.
It looks like looks like everybody's getting an update. Seer's getting an update. Yeah. Grease is getting an update.
Mm-hmm. Ship combat looking a little too in the trailer. I was like, oh man. I mean, cinematic. If we actually got to fly the ship and fight, oh well, dope. I don't expect that. But.
Hey, you never know. They might try to just one up you. But yeah, I agree. I'm glad that they're not doing like the whole Metroid thing. It's like, oh, Cal lost his power somehow. You have to get him back. It's like, no. It's like, no. You're gonna get better. It's like you're getting an upgrade, boy. It's like, but yeah, I'm intrigued to see what happens. We're about a month away. It's coming up close.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. We saw that last week. That was fucking wild too.
So good.
But yeah, dude, like it's gonna be so hard because I want to play both games. And I know I'm gonna want to try, and it's not gonna work. But there's too many good games coming out, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Too many games. All right.
Two more things.
Two more things. Okay, shoot. Go ahead. Go for it.
This weekend, speaking of Survivor, I was talking to our buddy Justice. He's been on the podcast before. We did the Invincible episode. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to it. I was like, are you going to check out Survivor? He's like, no, I want some Force Unleashed shit. So he's all about Dark Souls already. He's like, why do I need another Souls game, right? And that's the reason why he hasn't gotten Elden Ring, because he's already into Dark Souls 3 so much. It's just funny. He's like, I know I'll be dreaming and waking up thinking about Elden Ring. Like, that's what I do with Destiny, right? I'm thinking about builds, into the wee hours. He's like, and I've thought about Destiny here and there, but me, Justice, and Jameson, Triple J, of course, we finished Back for Blood's story finally. Thanks, Jameson, for joining us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was cool. The final boss was way better than that first final boss. You remember that? Mm-hmm. It was like a lot of setup to take this boss in like a quick time, but I think they learned like how to do this boss battle, and it just sucks because like now they're done. It's like that was not a hard boss fight, but it was like manageable, better, and a little more fun.
Okay.
But yeah, it was cool to finish that story finally. And now they're not doing any more content. I don't know if I'm gonna go back. I mean, obviously people want to play. I'll play with them, but it's just tough. It's like they're done. Hopefully the next thing.
Did they add anything else besides the story?
Like characters, skins. I think they added a harder difficulty with the second DLC. There's like a brutal mode or something like that. There's something even harder than the hardest difficulty.
Okay, shit.
No survivor or something. No survival, something like that. Something like that. I forgot. Yeah.
Man,
it was a fun ride. I know it was rocky, like a lot of games, rocky, but came out on top. But they're done. So that was fun. I wanted to say that real quick. I know you asked Jameson. This kind of cycles us back to our first conversation. He asked, "What do we think about Harry Potter's reboot coming?" And similar to you, Brian.
That's right.
There's already someone involved, a foreign presence. No, I shouldn't say foreign. A very familiar presence is going to be very ingrained. This person is very outspoken about a certain group of people. It's like, come on. And the worst part is the creator doubles down on their bullshit. It's like, and you could tell. I'm not saying she's, she didn't make things we didn't like at the time. It's like the new movies. It's like you can kind of tell, like this, no one's saying don't do these certain things in the new movies, right? I'm just saying it doesn't flow as well as the other ones. I mean, I did enjoy the first one a little bit, but anyway, it's just like they're thinking about rebooting it. I think it's the success of The Last of Us, right? They want to do, instead of movies, a season.
Okay.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying because Last of Us did well with their format. They're like, oh, maybe we could do it. So
one of these things are not like the other.
I know. I'm saying that. I'm making that connection. I don't know if that's what they did, but season 1 would be year 1. Season 2 would be year 2. Sure, they can expand, maybe go a little more. I mean, I feel like it's already like too soon. Like, you haven't even let still got this again, another like Warner Brothers involvement. There's people not shutting the fuck up. You know, if they want their thing to already take off the ground, right? Some people are tanking their properties, you know, the day it comes out. Why? I don't know. Why also? Like that's I just
no, here's why would you just make a TV series about the movies that people already really like, you know? But also, out of all the things that have been going on recently, why would you announce that she's still involved?
Not saying she's 100% involved based on what I've read so far, but she's still involved. She's still gonna get a fucking fat check, that's for sure. No, unless
So
they
like,
make, you know, Harry Potter trans, you know, right off the bat, and it's super diverse, and you know they're not gonna have all the POC with weird fucking names, you know, like that's a little questionable, J.K. Rowling. I don't know. I'm not hyped. I'm
no, don't worry. I saw 21 Jump Street and I turned my life around. Don't worry.
God damn it, that too. Yeah, I mean, is Harry Potter like, hey, it's my Irish friend, Lucky McLeprechaun. Like, okay, they didn't even try to fucking hide it this time. But you know what I mean? But yeah,
don't
maybe
worry, he's just an elf.
Maybe she'll watch Dallas Buyers Club or something. It'll fucking change her mind. I don't know. Maybe she'll watch Black Panther and she'll accept, you know, people of color. I don't know. Fuck. But shit, man. Thank you for asking that question, Jameson, but I was mad because J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit.
Oh, no.
I can't dissociate. So, great question. It's not even like she's like, she just doubles down, and Warner Brothers is like still cutting that check, no problem, you know? Especially with the game, you know? More power to if you play it, but I'm just like, not that, you know, Disney isn't problematic, and Marvel, you know, getting like funding from weird places for their properties too. It's all fucked, but I don't know. I'm lost, man. I'm lost.
I'm glad that we both were able to have our rant moment for this episode.
That was my rant moment. It's just like, it's like Vince and J.K. Rowling are like, what are you thinking? You want to do the same? You want to ruin what we have? Yeah, come on, Jake. Come on, walk up that ramp with me. Come on, you know? Motherfuck, get out of your property.
Vince, what's my character gonna be? You're gonna be a wizard. You're gonna do magic in the ring. You're gonna call you Harry Potter. Vince, that's already a property. It ain't my property.
Are they gonna still make goblins and shit like clear nods to like
you
people
know,
of Jewish descent? It's fucking the season 2. Hey, it's a goblin, and it's like fucking like, I'm like, oh no. Like, oh
starts
my God.
fucking,
I don't know why I did a jig like that, but I don't know.
Dancing like fucking Pennywise. Just in the middle of the screen.
Chang. They're called Cho Chang, China Chang. It's like, oh my God, they don't even fucking care anymore. Like, come on.
Well,
oh my God.
What a lovely
No, it's funny because I'm gonna keep going. My wife, we went to Universal Studios to get the wands, right? Back when we were, you know, didn't know, right?
back in the before times.
It's like, oh, she's literally said to me the other day, do we still want these? I'm like, fuck. It's like, yeah, I think they were cool at the time. We got them in a time of innocence, right? I mean, I don't know. It could be a good, like, if I want to poke something, I guess, or if I want to, want to touch something. I'm not gonna be like, I remember Sirius Black, who isn't very black at all. But it's like, come on, man. It sucks when stuff like that, it just kind of ruins it. At least for me.
That's okay. Sirius Black will just be a furry, and then everything's solved, right?
And Chicken Rolling will blow a gasket probably, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to yuck people's yums either. Like, if you like it and you can acknowledge it's bad, perfect. Good on you, right? I mean, it just sucks. It really sucks,
It's just, out of all the things that you would announce, we're like literally like maybe a month removed from Hogwarts Legacy, and like now they're announcing that they're gonna make a fucking HBO show.
Dude, it made so much fucking money. They're.
I mean, it's a popular property. Still.
More power to you, but.
Well, if you have more questions about billionaires that make bad decisions, Joel, where could they send those questions?
UnitedWeNerdcats@gmail.com. Fucking at me. And that one. J.K. Rowling didn't know. She fucking knew, bro. And badly.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Oh, no.
Harry Potter's just a fucking biography at this time. He wrote it. I don't know if I ever read it again. But I might be like, I don't know. Throw that shit. UnitedWeNerdcats@gmail.com. You got nerdy questions. Talk to me about not just me. Us. Bad Batch, Mando, things we like that probably aren't, in trouble yet until we know D. Bradley Baker embezzles billions of dollars from the child fund or something.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
Not D. Bradley Baker.
He's cool.
He's a cool guy.
Cool.
All right.
And recordcast@gmail.com.
All right. And if they want more of your hot takes, where can they find you, Joel?
Here. I do my hot takes here. They're too hot sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm going to get us in trouble. You're like, let's be friendly. I'm like, man, fuck that bitch. She's fucking shit. Anyway, Mad Mac Monster Mine on Spotify and SoundCloud. And TikTok. We're on TikTok, by the way. United We Nerd is on TikTok.
That's right.
And Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So go check us out there. But yeah, Mad Mac Monster Mine on Spotify, SoundCloud, TikTok. Had a new EP come out recently.
Oh, hey, go check that out.
It came out in December. Haven't been publicizing it very well, but new stuff is on the way. And shout out to Brazil, India, New Zealand for listening to some old songs. Love you. Thank you. All right, Brian, where can they find you and your very positive takes, except on Mr. McMahon?
Well, I mean, a little hard to find there, but you could find me on Twitter, Instagram at Brian_Saber. As well, also on TikTok, Brian Saber as well. And of course, right here on the United We Nerd podcast. So yeah, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. I know the news was a little light tonight, but we had some good things to talk about. A few
bookends weren't.
But yeah, we always enjoy having some nerdy conversations with y'all. And of course, we will be back next time. But until then, keep on nerding. We're gonna push Harry Potter to SummerSlam.
Is this the one where he says the racist stuff, Vince? Yeah, it'll be me dressed as a wizard on the ring.
Did you know that Vince McMahon said the N word on live TV in the early 2000s?
I know. Wasn't even, and then Booker T just looks at him like, what the fuck? I'm just like, what the fuck?
Billionaires.